Welcome to Calling Cousins. This is Cousin Ash calling from Arizona. We wanted to thank everyone for joining us today.
Cousin Shaw here calling from Colorado. Rumors are everywhere these days, so we figured it'd be fun to dig into a few and chat about what might be true or totally off the wall.
In my experience, all rumors come from some sort of truth. The topic we have for today is regulating robots, and this was a listener requested one. So hopefully,
Yes.
listeners are paying attention and enjoying our topics.
Yeah, re-listening to their request, right?
Refresh,
I almost
yeah.
said requestion, and then I was like, no.
We're just inventing new words here. Requestion.
Uh, hey, what's that show? How I Met Your Mother. He invents the words. He's like, Barney does it. Ah, shoot. I can't remember any of the words. But he says,
Awful.
well,
Awful.
off. But his was more like on his video resume. Remember?
Oh,
He was
yeah.
like Inception or something. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah. I can't remember what it is anymore. That's the awful is what I think all the time. Like when the kids
Awful.
are like, Mommy, my tablet died. I'm like, that's awful. Like, I'm so happy about it, but they're upset. So,
See, and then I always say falafel because Robin said falafel when she said I love you, but I always say awful as falafel. So I super
oh,
switch it up. I mess it up. Anyways,
yay. How I
okay.
Met Your Mother detour, like usual.
So we are talking about robots, and we have like a few different examples of how robots are in our world. There's probably a bajillion more, but we thought these were pretty interesting, negative and positive side of them. So I'm pretty excited.
Me too.
And we'll post these links too, so that if you wanted to dig deeper into the articles we're reading about, are more than welcome to. Like one of them, for instance, this first one, um, is talking about robots as receptionists at a hotel. And they actually, the link that I'll post, it apparently there's a video. I actually forgot to watch the video of the guy. It like it paraphrases him a lot throughout this article on what he says when the robot says something or whatever. And but I totally forgot to watch the video. So
Well, we'll try to link it in. I
well,
mean, I
it's
guess
in
watching it after the fact for us would be pointless, but
I know, but like the link to the video is inside the
yes,
link
yes,
that
I
will,
see.
yes, yes. Okay.
The TikTok video link that I'm staring at right now. Yeah, I see.
Oh,
I've
see, there you
seen.
go. There you go. So this specific hotel is in Tokyo. Big surprise. They're just like half the shit I feel like I see like on TikTok or whatever that's like in Tokyo. I don't even believe it. Like
I
well
know.
there is definitely this one and it was like a year or so ago and I know it ain't true, but it was like it looked really cool. So hold on, derailing again, big surprise. But it was a I guess it was like an electric train, right? But it goes under your house. Okay. So the train goes under your house. You get your kid ready for school. They just pop in the train, so to school. And then after school, they come back in the train and boop. I was like, I mean, that
Yeah,
was
there's
like,
definitely no way, but that's like the future, dude.
but I totally watched that and I was like, "Ugh, that would be cool."
That's crazy.
Now,
I
on the other hand, well, this wasn't a video. I think I read about it or whatever, but it was a fun fact or whatever. But there's this third world country, and I don't remember it at all. But there literally is no road to get to school, so they have to zip line to school. And it's some third world country, and it's a very small town, and um, there's a zip line like way at the top. And my question is, how do they get back from school? Because the pictures I was seeing, it was like top to down. So, anyways, had to
hike
tell that
home,
one.
I guess. I don't know.
That
That's
one was,
interesting.
yeah, that one was definitely a real story, but squirrel, squirrel, go ahead.
Yeah. So we actually had one of our friends toured. He's in a band. I don't know if he still is, maybe not important. And he toured to Japan and he was telling us about like the bathrooms there and everything. He's like, it's so there's like this water like lake thing, and then the water just like flush it. I don't know. I don't know. He was trying to explain it. And he was just like baffled by this. And I kept wanting to like look it up, like what are Japan restrooms like? But that seemed weird. But anyway,
Well,
the
I
one
know
thing he
they're like straight on the floor, right?
well, I think so, and I think that's
You
why like
squat.
well, and I don't know because obviously he's a man, and so he went into the men's restroom, and so I don't know because like all of them were just like
Huh.
standing along this like lake thing, and then like the water just came and like he was like it was like a wave pool like in the bathroom, and I'm like that's so weird.
That sounds
So
messy.
you're right. And I don't know. But then he also like the funny thing is like he's as tall as my husband. So he's like 6'3", right? And he was like, I had to go into one of the stalls once, at one point, and he was like, and then I
Oh
sat in there
gosh.
and I was like, I can't get out. And he started to get all claustrophobic because the stalls are
Oh.
so small. Because like,
I was thinking he could
Japanese
just
people
see
are
everybody.
so no, but they're like so
Okay.
tiny. And so he's like, I was just sitting in there and I was getting all claustrophobic, and then I ended up giving myself a bruise because I hit myself with the door trying to
Oh my
get it out. And I
gosh.
was like, oh, that sounds awful. So anyway, that was funny. But there is one thing that I need, like I just so badly wanted to come to the States and it hasn't happened yet, and I don't understand why, but I think I referenced it before because I'm obsessed with it. But um it's a toilet, and like instead of flushing and like having the tank refill, you wash your
You
hands and
you talked
then
about this when we were talking about the green thumb stuff, I think.
yes.
Yeah.
And it needs to come here. Like it's so brilliant because you wash your hands and then it fills the tank with the water from your hands, and then you're not wasting any water. It's so smart. I don't understand why it's not a
Yeah.
thing.
Genius. Genius.
Anyway, and it already exists, so it's not like somebody can invent it. Like it's already invented. We just need it over here. Maybe I can order
Hey,
one.
I was gonna say check on Amazon.
Yeah, it'll be this big, like a little doll toilet.
Hey man,
Okay.
wash my hands.
Anyway,
Anyways, okay, so Japan is crazy, right? So they have these robots. And when I first like heard about this article, I was just like, "Oh my gosh, like I'm imagining like Short Circuit, right? I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, but he's like legit a robot." No, they look like people and it's creepy. Like they
it's
have
like a life-size Barbie doll.
yeah, yeah, ugh, which I would much rather the Short Circuit robot than this. And
Yeah.
so I'll try to stay focused here. But at the top, um, we mentioned before that like robots are taking over jobs. So like this one was like legit a receptionist taking over a receptionist job. They do have other, I think, receptionists up there to like supervise or whatever, but still, like this is the reality of a robot taking over a job. So I was just prefacing with that. But you definitely have to go look at these. Like she's got a hat on, she's got a full suit, a what is that, handkerchief or a tie or something like that? Like
Scarf.
face, eyeballs. Yeah, it's creepy.
Yeah, it's definitely bizarre. And I know like the worst part is like that's like prototype, right? Like they're still working on it. So eventually I feel like they'll get to a point where we're not even going to be able to notice.
Oh, that's true. And like, I'm not gonna lie, like she looks like she doesn't look like a person, but she like looks like a person. I mean, like you said, she looks like a
Right.
Barbie doll, but she doesn't look like she's proportionate and that kind of stuff. Like the hair
Right.
looks, you know, but my gosh. And like she's even standing like how they stand like I'm sitting, so I'm not gonna stand up. But like she has her hands all crossed in front,
Yeah.
like she's all
Like all
professional.
cute and professional. Yeah.
Yeah. The hotel that this is at made me laugh. So it's called the Hen Na Hotel. So HENN space NA space hotel. And I don't know if this part's true, but it says it translates as to strange in Japanese. So it's the Strange Hotel. So it makes sense that they would test it out in this hotel first.
Yeah, no kidding.
Um and they're already like going big. It says that there's 20 branches. I believe it's in Japan or sorry, Tokyo still. Um that have already started these, they're calling them humanoids. And then there's also, which I have not looked this up, dinosaur droids. Um, I don't know what the dinosaur. I'd be curious about that too. Did you pull it up?
They're like literally, yes,
The dinosaur?
they're like, it's like those fake animatronic ones, and they like got little bellhop hats on, and they're like
Really?
ah, like with little bell hat.
Is it a receptionist?
Yeah, they're at the hotel. They're like in front of the hotel.
Oh my gosh. Again, people, this, oh my gosh.
I know, and they have a lot of them. Like the thing keeps going. There's like these little tiny robots, and I'm assuming like a choir looking thing. And
You know what
then
that reminds me of? That reminds me of in Shrek when they're like, welcome to Duloc, such a
oh
perfect
yeah,
town. Yeah. But anyways, these links are totally in the article link there. So you'll help yourself.
yeah. This is crazy. But something I did want to mention is that it could be really cool for the hotels to do this because imagine how many languages they can be programmed with and all that other stuff. Like
That would be
it,
cool.
because how many travelers go to Tokyo? Like, yeah, sure, we're from America and they probably know like Japanese. Obviously, they know Japanese.
Well,
Stupid. But they probably know English. But
well, and I'm
like,
wondering like if you walk up, so say it knows all the languages, right? I wonder if you
hmm,
walk up and say, I say hi, would it just automatically, or hello? I don't know if hi is in a different language, but will it automatically know what I'm speaking? Or would I have to select it somewhere?
um,
Or does it like, or would it like ask you? Like,
I feel like, well, how would it ask though? Like, what language would it ask it in? Because if it asked it in Japanese, I'd be like,
it would
what?
just say, kind of like I'm imagining like on the phone calls, right? Like
Press one for blah blah blah.
for
Press
English, and
two.
then yeah, exactly.
I feel
But then
like
it
it
says
would.
press two in Spanish.
I feel like if you walked up and said like maybe I don't know, maybe there's like a sign that says say hello and then or like in all different languages or whatever, and then it triggers like, oh, okay, you're English or
Yeah,
American or whatever. I don't know.
yeah.
That'd be
It would have
interesting.
to, yeah. I would be very curious about this.
But I'm sure they're already thinking about it, right? Like, how can you not?
There's this part down here which made me laugh, which is why I want to watch a video. But it says that when they were done, like with their check-in process, the robot looks at them and says, "We hope you have a delightful stay at our hotel." And then it like bows, and then I guess the person like freaks out, like ah, like I haven't seen it, but that's just what the verbally typed out is. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm like the bow, no man.
I
Like,
mean,
we
what
hope
do
you
you
have a
expect
delightful
though?
stay. Like,
Okay, well, it probably doesn't do the creepy eyebrow thing.
it
Oh,
probably does.
it probably does. No, it's probably like,
It's like twitching.
now I have to
Oh
clean up
my
after
gosh.
you. No, something like that. That's
I don't
crazy.
know. I don't know. But it does explain a little bit later about how like they do have human, receptionists or whatever there to pick up slack. And I don't know if it is actually like say the robot malfunctions or whatever and it's just like not doing what it's supposed to. I don't know if they're there supervising making sure every single second, or if it's like, oh, since they're checking him in, we're gonna go, you know walk around and make sure that the toilets are cleaned or that kind of stuff. um
Yeah.
but like I even have a friend who his job, so he works at Walgreens, and his job is literally to sit next to the robots. So the robots take the medicine and put them in the containers and plop them out. And I think they even do the like labeling, like the sticker on there and that kind of stuff. But his job is literally there to monitor the robot to make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to, grabbing the correct medicine, that kind of stuff. So it's like it's hard because it's like at what point do you like stop watching? That sounds super boring to me. Like just
Yeah.
watching a robot, you doing it, you do it. Like that's just gonna teach like so much micromanagement habits.
Well, there are worse
Um
things.
And like, I don't know how much he actually has to fix them. And I don't know what the robots look like. I doubt they look like these creepy things. They're probably just a R2D2 type thing.
I would assume so. But I love
Um,
that though, because especially like prescriptions and how many of them actually get messed up. I mean, human error, we all have that, but that is a life-threatening issue with
well,
human error.
but not even that. Like, I think you have to have some kind of degree to handle that medication. So like,
Um,
I don't think he has a medical degree, but he can monitor, like, but the robot doesn't have to, right? So then he can just monitor the robot and be like, okay, yeah, that was, I don't know medicine, so ignore me. But that was ibuprofen. It wasn't Advil or what is the same thing. What the fuck ever. Okay.
Tylenol.
Tylenol, thank you. This is why I'm not in the medical field. So anyways, yeah, I don't imagine his to be looking like people because I feel like I would have heard about that. But it
Yeah.
is nice having like robots for that kind of stuff. So that's basically the first example that we have. The second example is a little bit more serious. Okay, so in this article, it is talking about a large scale drone warfare unfolding in Ukraine. So this is like I think this has been happening since May. But basically, it was saying that more than 150 civilians have been killed by these drones. And that's kind of where I was talking about. I don't know if I fully believe that, but at the same time, this world is insane and I wouldn't be too surprised. And I don't know, it also kind of goes into it gets pretty severe and it says like, oh, the drones are deciding our fate. I don't know if they're actually making a decision or if they're just malfunctioning. So like when it doesn't recognize the face, like me and you right now, like if I put glasses on, we would look similar. It says attack, Shaw and it attacks Ash. I could see that as, excuse me, as programming error and maybe, we shouldn't have jumped this quickly into what robots can do for us, maybe get better at the facial recognition or locations or something. I'm not sure before jumping into that, but that is a very terrifying thing if that's happening.
Yeah. But I mean, like, you can't really blame them for being like that because like they're trying to save their soldiers' lives by integrating all this technology that we have now. It's like I get it. Like if it was us, right? We'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, let's have this be our first defense instead of humans so that they don't die. So like I get that, but it is terrifying. And I know like the technology of facial recognition is getting so spectacular where like I feel like they would be able to tell us apart just fine. But then I know it's like more rare, but my husband is a twin, an identical
I was going to
twin.
bring that. Yep, I was going to bring
And
that up
so
too.
like what if his brother goes and does something stupid and all of a
And
sudden
they're
like he's
pretty
being targeted?
identical. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
I don't know. I agree. Like I feel like it's got to be more like ordinance, like go here and do this kind of thing, as opposed to like find this person. But I think that we're jumping ahead into like I don't know, is there a way that they
Quick
can like
fix.
test our DNA through our hair before they kill us? Like I don't know.
Or
It's
like get an eye scan, like those things where it's like when
yeah,
you go, you can't let in the room until it identifies your eyes or something. But then it's like, how close can you get to get a proper eye scan? But then
right.
like I honestly thought that like these drones that were being made, I thought they were basically like a really cool video game. So I thought a person was the eyes on the drone,
Right.
not like programming the drone itself. And so it's hard because like I know this is like terrifying um but 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 in the whole grand scheme of things whose idea was it? The people. So it's the people that are terrifying, not necessarily the robot. I don't
Right. And
think
I think that's
the
how it started. I think that
yeah.
somebody controlling it with a camera is how it started. And then they were like, hey, we can even get even more accurate and have a computer just do all this.
Yeah, right. And like, I don't know, that just seems when it comes to lives, I feel like that's unacceptable. And like there is an organization and it missed it or I missed it a couple
It's
times.
the UN, United Nations.
No,
Oh, sorry, I jumped
the
ahead to the
Human
next one.
Human Rights Watch. Because they're working on banning it, and it kind of goes into this article too. Like how many countries they had involved. I'm scrolling ahead. I need to stay focused. Yeah, okay, so this was a phrase. Like, I don't really believe this. It says killer robots raining down death from the sky, deciding for themselves who they should attack. That's the part I don't believe. That's the part that I'm like, I feel like that's just that they're trying to scare people. They're trying to like put you in this, oh my gosh, like a robot's gonna come kill me. You know what I mean? And I don't know how much I agree with that because yes, they have movies out there that the robots start to take over their own personality and like make decisions, but I don't think computers can do that. Like maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that they have judgment.
Well, that's the thing is that everybody says, not yet. Not yet. Right now, it's okay. Right now, blah, blah, blah. But soon, like my stepdad, when we were talking about AI, he was like, there was this program and it was like they had a safeguard. They were like, all right, at this point, you stop doing your programming because, we don't want you to go past this. And and so he was like, all right, so they did it, like the robot AI isn't really a robot. So the AI was in there like doing its thing, and then it saw that stop point, and it went around it, found a way to get rid of it, and it said, "I fixed your program for you. I got rid of this block in there." And they were like,
Oh, okay.
cool,
Well,
awesome. Like that's not what we wanted, but that's fine."
well, and I was just gonna say, like, say you tell it to do whatever it takes to get this job done, then it will. It will find the loopholes and the
Hmm.
cracks in order to get the job done. So it's like it's at some point, yeah, like if you say the phrase of whatever it needs to be for it to take the loopholes, it will get the job done because they're very obedient.
Right.
Um,
And that's where the things came in. But the next thing that I was going to mention is that the UN, the United Nations,
yeah.
is I had to look up exactly what that was because I didn't know if it was just like the World Peace Corps kind of thing, but
Right.
it's a
Yes.
legit thing, right? So anyway, for those of you that don't know, it's the primary worldwide organization dedicated to maintaining internal peace, security, developing friendly relations among nations, fostering international cooperation, and promoting respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms. It also establishes a framework for international justice and fair dealings between countries. So this is the one that was like, hey, we have all these nuclear weapons, but let's not use them on each other unless we absolutely have to, right? Like we were using nuclear weapons for warfare, and they were like, okay, it's just simply not fair. Like it's
Right.
killing so many people, it's doing this stuff. So they were like, we need to stop this. And they obviously do a lot more, but that's like the intense thing.
But
So
they're involved. That's where
yeah,
I like to see that they're involved.
I agree. And I feel like that. So I jumped ahead and I was like, they have to be involved. And then, like, literally, the next line in this article was like, the Secretary General has always been, hold on, so blah, 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 the head of the UN office. So they're already like talking about how it should not be allowed. It should, in fact, be banned by international law. And that's the United Nations position. So they don't want it. They think it should be banned. So I feel like I'm assuming that the countries go on a voting system and talk about it, and they'll probably have that discussion on whether or not
I
it's fair.
Yes, and I think they talk about that in here as well, about how the Human Rights Watch, which apparently is a part of the UN, they are going to all the countries and they have several countries that are voting against this, which is interesting because it's like Russia's doing it. So it's like, aren't you supposed to wait to do it until you get the proper, I don't know. So then it goes on to talk about the advocates for this AI world, right? Um, so it basically says that soldiers can make errors like in judge or errors in judgment. So they can act on emotion or they need rest. Maybe they didn't get enough sleep. Um, and then they demand wages from the military or whatever. When these droids don't do that. So they're trying to look at it from like a money grab, right?
Hmm.
There and then like human error. Yeah, sure, human error, but to me, robot error is still there as well. So it's like my human error can be just as bad as a robot error, but it's more common to see the human error. So it's like I get that and like trying to save money, but then if you're trying to save money on the wages side of things, how much does it cost to build these things? And when it breaks, you're
I
gonna have to
bet you it's
bajillions of
minimal.
dollars. Oh,
I bet you it's
minimal?
minimal. Yeah.
I don't think so, man. I feel like to build them, to sell them, to make them run, I feel like is going to be millions of dollars. And then you have to
Okay,
pay
but think
someone a
about
wage to fix it.
yeah,
So
but
you're
that
still
is
paying
one
wages.
person that fixes how many machines. But I mean, think about all the boot camps, all of the like military housing that they can get rid of, all the everything that is support like they wouldn't have to worry about grants for schooling anymore because it wouldn't be an incentive. It would be all these things they could save so much money on and the training like I know I mentioned the boot camp, but like seriously, there's boot camp and then there's basic after that, and then you got to do all these things. So like the
Okay, but aren't
cost
those
to
things how does, and this is probably naive, but how does the military get funding?
it's a government
Is it
funded.
taxes? Is it through
Yeah.
taxes? So then would I be able to vote that my taxes not go to these droids? You know what I mean?
I
So
mean,
it's
if they
like,
put it in
is
there.
the government going to get less money because it's going to a robot versus going to a military person?
No, I disagree. They would just redirect it. They would do new bills saying, oh, we need to upgrade the metal in these things or blah, blah, blah. And then my other fear is like, if they get shot down, I mean, I guess it's no different than a soldier, but if they get shot down, then that technology is with the other country or, whatever.
All the memory in it, you mean?
Yeah, or like, yeah, or the
Programming
weapon. The
and the
weapon
weapon.
itself,
Hmm.
which again, I guess we can't really say much because if a soldier gets shot down, their weapon is also going to be out there. So that's kind of
Yeah,
a
but this they can
moot point.
fix. They can't
Yeah,
fix I mean, they could take the soldier's weapon, but the weaponry is, a gun. This probably has missiles and that kind of stuff. I wonder, it does
yeah.
show a picture of one of these, and I wonder how big to scale that is. Like, is that the size of a car or is that the size of an airplane?
I feel like it's even smaller. I feel like that's
Smaller than a car?
yeah.
I was thinking like a car because I'm like, imagine it having, and like, how much ammo can it hold?
I think that would depend on the size actually. Like if it was just a bullet one, like just had bullet, like that one has missiles,
Hmm.
so probably
That
is the
one's got
size of a car,
missiles.
maybe bigger. But then
Yeah.
like they probably have other ones that are just literally like guns, and those are probably like the size of a drone, like the drones
A
that we're used
drone.
to. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would assume so anyway, but I'm not
Well, and I wonder how
totally sure.
detectable they are.
I don't know. I'm sure with technology as it advances, we're going to get advances there too. But that was the thing I was going to mention when we were
Like
talking
to,
about the UN is
hmm.
that they would have to have a fine line because you, like how you said that Russia's already doing this. Well, so were we. Like we just had the camera and then the man powering it. So they
Yeah.
just took it a step farther. So there would have to be like a solid line when when is it too much? Like if we've already been doing this where a guy is controlling it, or girl, sorry, the person is controlling it from like an office, is that okay because a person is monitoring it, but it's still technically a drone? It's just like there's a blurred line and they would have to go through and talk about it so much to figure it out.
It gives another example on how these machines are mistaking the human targets or whatever, but basically maybe it's like trying to scan for metal. So like if you take a person with a wheelchair, like will it look at that wheelchair like, oh, this is that certain amount of metal that it needs. I don't know if it looks at it as like in the position it has to be in their hands or on their back or something like that. Like, so back to the recognition on how can it not make mistakes? When you have, say you have a person that has metal inside their body, like all of these repairs, knee replacements, hip replacements, like does it scan that? Is metal one of the targets? Because that would be, that's just, how do you monitor that? How do you,
And
not if
that's
it's under the
where,
skin, not if they're sitting on it, you know what I mean?
well, even then you can't. I assume that like that kind of stuff, like they were basically going to combine TSA at the airport with like I don't know the FBI or whatever with their facial recognition. I don't know, but there is so
Right.
much technology out there that we can't even grasp it, and it's
Right.
already like taking control, and that's fantastic. Like it's so they probably already have thought about these things. I guarantee it. And
Well,
they're either working on a way to it or it's already being put in place.
like Tiny, for instance, I went on a military base the other day, and they had to get me like a guest pass and that kind of stuff. And um, I went with my friend, who she's the wife of the military, and or personnel, whatever. And I remember she was like panicking because she's like, "Oh my gosh, like, we have to go through a metal detector, and then we have to do this, and then we have to, I had to bring my two forms of ID, and then I had to bring my son's birth certificate and that kind of stuff. So like he had identification." She's like, so she was like panicking. She's like, "Oh my gosh, like I feel like I'm being, you know, singled out or whatever." I was like,
Interrogated,
"Whatever."
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, "Whatever." I like, it doesn't bother me at all. Like I'm glad that they're taking precaution or whatever. But anyways, I go through the metal detector and my thing starts beeping. And I'm like, "Oh shoot." And I'm like, "I don't know what it is." I have my laptop in my backpack. And I'm like, "Dang it." I was like, but like the guy didn't even phase. And so she was like, and he didn't look at in my backpack or anything. He's just like, "No, it's okay, go ahead." And um my friend was like, "Oh my gosh, like how do they know that, what's inside your backpack?" And I was like, "Honestly, they probably have like something like like a video or a sensor. What is that? The heat
Like
sensor
an
thing?"
X-ray.
X or something, like, because you walked through the thing, so it's like he probably can see what's in there. Um
Yeah. It's
and
so weird that they didn't do a bag check though.
I mean, it was a very small backpack. I mean, it fit my laptop, but I'm wondering if that's why, like, they could see everything that was in there. And then there was another girl, she had a full suitcase because she was traveling. Same thing, they didn't search through it. But I'm like, there's got to be some kind of protocols. Like I don't feel like I'm interrogated or anything.
Right. But I agree with that because like we went through the very first time we had our foster children, we went through TSA and like I think I've mentioned this before, but they were black girls, so
Uh-huh.
obviously like not my children. And I was so upset with them that they didn't check any of our paperwork, none of it. I was like, I had it all ready and
Really?
available. Yeah. And I was like, okay, ready to go. And they were like, all right, have a good flight. And I was like, bro, like I could be kidnapping
How do
these
you know?
kids.
Yes, that would
And
bother
you're
me
just
too.
like, go on. And even like I kind of give my own a pass because they look just like me. So
Hmm.
like I kind of can understand like they if they look at them, they're like, all right, those are me. But like it is frustrating. So I don't know. It's one of those things where like this could end up being a pain in the ass with AI involved. Like how how we're talking about this progressing in
Yeah.
that way, but at the same time, it's not going to give people that right to just be like, oh, you're waved on
Right.
because I
Well,
feel you're okay because that's not how it should be.
and I think they also judge that by how the kid is, which I still don't trust. But like, say they were like asking for documentation, that kind of stuff. Like, there are people out there that would be pissed about that. They would be like, "How dare you? Like, am I not allowed to adopt a black girl?"
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? Like, then there's the mixed race families, right? Like, I just met a family that's going to my son's school, and one's Puerto Rican and one's very white, and like they have two daughters, and one's Puerto Rican and one's very white, and it's like, so it's like when the mom goes out and she's got both the daughters, like she only looks like one of them, so people would
Right.
take offense to that too. So I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
they look at the comfort of the child. But anyways,
I
back
don't
to
know.
what we were
Yeah.
talking about.
Anyway, squirreled
um
again. Shocker.
I know. It's so down here in the article, you were mentioning, cousin, about um where's that line of like the guy or girl that's behind, in the camera, like playing the video game, like controlling the drone, or if it's the drone, it's completely by itself. It brings up like who's accountable. Is it the manufacturer, or is it the program or the person who programmed the algorithm? Or like in this case, the ones that we have, right, where they're person controlled, like obviously to me it'd be the person. But it's like, say the droid, I keep saying droid and I apologize, the drone goes out and um shoots the wrong person and kills the wrong person. You can't sue a computer So it's like, where is that line too? So it's like you unrightfully killed my whoever. Like, who am I gonna go after? Who's gonna? Not that that
I
makes
mean,
it right. Not that
this
suing.
is, yeah, but this is just one, this is just my opinion, but I feel like it wouldn't be the
Why we
manufacturer
shouldn't?
because,
Oh,
no, I just mean like who is
I was like,
accountable.
this is one reason why we shouldn't.
No, yeah, obviously, but I feel like that's a losing battle. Like we're going that direction. I hope that the UN steps in. I hope that this actually becomes um a vetoed thing, like an illegal thing, where just all
Yeah,
the countries are like, all right, this is not fair. Especially like think about the world countries, like they cannot keep up with this.
right.
So you're just gonna go and you could take out an entire country because of technology. That's not fair.
I don't even know if that's necessarily a fair argument either, because if you bring in the third world countries, well, of course they're not going to be able to keep up with the amount of soldiers we have. So they're still at that disadvantage. Um, but
Fair, but like
as long as
I
they're
don't know.
following the rules, and from my opinion, and I don't understand war, I don't agree with war, but from my understanding, as long as you're following the rules, you won't be attacked. That could be wrong because people suck still.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, if they want that territory, they're gonna try to get it, and like
ugh,
that's war.
that that's so gross.
So anyway, I don't feel like it's the manufacturer's responsibility because they just made it, but whoever bought it from the manufacturer, I feel like is the one who should be held responsible
True, but
because
I also think it's like who's controlling it, like who told it what to do. I feel like that's where the legal line is.
yeah, but I feel like that whoever bought it is obviously going to use it. So I feel like that's like where it is, right? Like if this company bought it to, I don't know,
That's
kill the
interesting. So
extra deer that are taking over the forest or something, and then all of a sudden somebody shows up dead, like they
bring in
should be.
animals? No,
I'm just saying, like
babies.
I wanted to take it away from people for a second.
I'm a I feel more comfortable with the people than the
All right,
animals.
all right, I won't mention it
Innocent
again.
little.
Sorry, Bambi.
Well, and like, okay, so say an employee does it, would the company still be sued?
I mean, I feel like it would go to the employee, but chances are in the employee contract, there it's going to be the company.
They're so it's be both.
Yeah,
Okay, man. The things I don't understand. Um,
yeah,
anyways, so after that deep topic, we're gonna wrap it up with some positive
yes.
reasons.
And this, just so everybody knows, will not be linked because this was just me Googling and AI responding. So
Oh gosh, we
so
used the
we don't have,
robot.
I know we did, but I liked it. So I was like, we're just gonna go with this. So there's not an article to link here, but if you want to read about this, you can just Google positive outcomes of robots.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
and a
AI
lot
will
of
tell you all these things.
right, and like a lot of these things, I wish people change their perspective of what they wanted to use robots for. So like
Hmm.
the first thing that it pulled up, it was talking about robots can handle the dull, the dirty, and the dangerous tasks, right? Like not dangerous as in going and killing people, because again, we've discussed that that is too intense, but like
Yeah,
dangerous as in like um, fixing roof repairs, like something like that where someone can get hurt from that. Okay, have a drone that will, won't die. I mean, we don't care if it dies. Um,
right.
but like even the dull and the dirty, like it would be cool like if we put robots there first. Like why do we have to the first thing we're doing making all the nasty the scary things, but like use them for our benefit. We don't want to clean toilets. Make a robot to clean my toilet. Like they made the
See,
robot to clean the floors, those
right.
little
The Roomba.
Roombas. Uh-huh.
I agree with that. And then but there's also a fine line here because then like people talk about this politically all the time with like all the illegal aliens coming into the country
Excuse
and
me.
they're taking jobs and all this stuff. Well, this is also going to take jobs. Like I know we had that discussion a couple weeks ago, I think, with Andrea. She mentioned it that maybe it wasn't her. I don't know. I feel like somebody we were talking to on this podcast mentioned it with the fast food restaurants. And
I did.
Yeah,
when
and
you're
that's
ordering.
yeah,
Hmm.
and that's great. Like it's great, but then at the same time, all those teenagers that used to work
See,
for fast food restaurants are like,
I don't think it's great. I don't think it's great. Hmm, like I even notice to scroll for 2 seconds along with what you're talking about with the specific fast food. So it's Wendy's that
right,
is doing it right now. I haven't seen it at other restaurants yet.
Taco Bell
Um,
had it
Taco Bell
out
did
here
gross.
anyway.
Ugh.
But it wasn't
Um,
like on the outside speaker, it was only the inside like board. So it was just like
I've
you were
seen the
doing an
inside
online order.
boards,
Yeah.
yeah, like on McDonald's. McDonald's is inline, but or inside uh board thing. But but Wendy's does the drive up. So it literally is like, "Hi, how are you?" Or what can I get for you? And then you say it and then it types it out. Um I am now not confused by it. I now expect it when I go up, but then I'm responding number 3, no
So
pickles, Dr.
you have like
Pepper.
no emotion.
Right. But then like I just went there and it malfunctioned or whatever. And then the guy had to hop on it instantly. And I was like, oh, hi, how are you? Oh, that'd be great. No worries. So it's like that robot interaction made me a robot. And then instantly when a person came on, I turned into a human again. And so that was gross to me
Hmm,
that I
interesting.
changed. I changed. And so I also use Chat GPT a lot for work, like to help me. I'm not good with words. So like hey, can you make this sound more professional? Can you make this sound more light-hearted? Can you make this sound whatever? So I use ChatGPT for that kind of stuff, but I purposely talk to it like I'm talking to a person because I don't want to accidentally treat a person like that. Like number 3, Dr.
Well, then
Pepper.
why
You know what
don't
I
you
mean?
feel the same way when you're going through the
I
Wendy's drive-thru?
I didn't connect it. It was like there were two separate settings and I don't understand why. I think it's also because I'm
Interesting.
mad. I'm mad that they have it. So I'm like, I don't
You're
know,
like,
but
why are
like
you here? You get out of here.
exactly. I don't know, but it was so odd because I naturally with the chat GPT, I'm all kind. Hey, good morning. Hope your day's going well. And like I know it's a freaking computer. I know that, but like I'm making myself talk like that because I don't want to change because obviously but I was doing that before that instance with Wendy's, but I just thought it was really gross. It was gross
Hmm,
how quickly
interesting.
I changed.
I think that I still, when I was going through, I was like, hi. I was all talking to
Oh,
a robot, all
really?
bubbly. I mean, the
Yeah,
only
no.
time that I see myself getting frustrated is when I have to do a phone call and it's like I can help with that, and I'm like 0 0 0 0 0 0 0
Oh,
0.
you're
I'm just
right. You
like,
don't even give it a chance to
no,
finish.
I'm like screw
Been
you, just
there.
coming to an operator. It's like
Yeah.
anyway, that's the only time I get frustrated with it so far. But otherwise, I think I do talk to it like it's a person. But
Yeah,
but
no.
anyway, I just worry about the dirty job thing because um like the people that take care of the trash, right? Like the trash truck drivers and all them,
Mhm.
they make decent money. And everybody that I've talked to that is in that profession, like everybody's like, oh, gross, whatever. Like, no, honestly, like it's a great job. Like we don't really have to do with people. Kids love us when we drive by.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't
And
know if I would think about the trash truck. I was just thinking like cleaning toilets.
yeah, but that's also somebody's job. Like if I was
But
a
you
house
think they
cleaner,
like
I'd
that?
be mad. I mean, I don't know. It's satisfying to see
Hmm.
something dirty go clean.
It'd be interesting to see do people actually truly like the jobs? I mean, obviously everybody likes different jobs, right? Like my favorite kind
Right.
of job is sitting at a desk. A lot of people hate that because they need to be up and moving. So,
Yeah.
um, interesting. Interesting.
I
Go
feel
ahead.
like, well, even if they didn't like it though, that's how they make their money. And if we're removing that, then they're losing their income and they have to find another source of income. So they can't really barter their tools like that. And that's just where I'm like, I hope it doesn't come in too much. Like there was a Megan Fox movie that I just keep thinking about. It shows right here. It was on Netflix or Prime, and it was called Subservience. It came out last year, and she is a drone. Like Megan Fox is a drone.
Weird.
Wait, no, not drone. A droid. Super, now I'm going backwards.
Oh, hey. Okay.
So she is a robot, and she is like a maid, and she's helping with the kids and all this stuff. But then he said something to her, she resets her programming, blah blah blah, like one thing leads to another. It's basically like an iRobot situation, right? Okay, so yeah, in that movie, it showed doing everything. Like, oh, they can mow your lawn, they can cook you dinner, they can do this, they can clean your house, they can take care of your kids, blah blah blah. And like just think about just that, how many jobs that one thing got rid of, which like
Right.
like from our perspective, it's like, oh, awesome. Like I don't have to do all these things or hire a landscaper or hire a house cleaner or hire a cook, like, and I just get
All in
away
one.
with all this. Right. But then you just like got rid of that job, got rid of that job, got rid of that job. And it just sucks
Yeah.
because like I don't know. It'll just be interesting because like how are we gonna survive if we don't have enough jobs for people to work because we're replacing it all with robots? Like
Well, and
what is
we've
everybody
talked
gonna
about
do? Are we just gonna eliminate money? And I don't know.
we've talked about that before, and I remember you had mentioned that they need people to fix those robots, or somebody mentioned that. Like the jobs would be fixing robots. And then my argument to that is like, well, what if you don't want to fix a robot?
Hmm.
Like, what if you want to, like, for instance, be an artist? What if you want to go be an artist? Oh, we have a droid that makes our paintings or whatever. And it's like
Right.
because I've always been concerned about that, like how the job or the how the robots take away the jobs. And I know it's far down the line, but I keep saying like, gosh, like I hope our children like technology because that's where the jobs are. Like they won't have
Right.
an umpteen insane amount of opportunities. Um,
Right.
like I went through a training because I work with a lot of board or directors, and I just went through an AI training called AI in the boardroom. And um, the two biggest things that I've always hated was minutes and agendas. And this platform records your meeting, makes your minutes, makes your agendas, and it compares it to the rest of all the notes and stuff. So right there, that takes away part of my job, right? So like it sounds nice because I don't want to do that, but then it's just like it goes into more and more, you know what I mean? So it's just it is a future stress, and I just hope that there is balance. I hope that um I don't know, because then does it take away your intelligence? So then, excuse me. Um so okay, say you have this Megan Fox robot that mows your lawn. Okay, then when I don't know what happens, say our grid gets shut down and now none of these robots work. Now, lawn mowing is probably not the best example, but it's like, oh my gosh, now I don't know how to mow my lawn, or oh my gosh, I don't
Or
know how
cook
to,
dinner
or
or
cook a dinner. Like, yeah, so it's like, so then it's like, what happens when something happens, bad happens, and then all of a sudden you don't know how to survive?
yeah.
So, I mean, you could take it as far as
I
you want,
think
but
yeah. All right, no, this is supposed to be the positive side of things. All right, let's get
oh
back on
right,
track.
sorry, my bad. You're
Okay.
you're
But
bad too, okay?
something
You
I know,
started it
I know,
too.
I know I did start it. Okay. Anyway, some things that we were talking about taking away the hazardous jobs is like the bomb detection and deactivation, and then in here it says working in environments with extreme temperatures or radiation and performing search and rescue operations in disaster zones. I loved that last one because I was like, oh man, I never would have thought about that. But picture like a tornado goes through and people trying to dig through all that stuff. If something falls on them, then like that's a disaster on top of a disaster. That's awful. But having robots out there, like first of all, they're going to be extra strong, like stronger than we are, right? So they could just like lift up a whole entire concrete wall and go save somebody. And I was like, I never even thought of that, but I
I didn't
love
think.
that that's a thing.
Well, and then the movie that comes to my mind is Guardian, The Guardian, where they go out and they gotta, there's a shipwreck or whatever, and then they gotta go out and save
Oh,
so
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they can just. That would be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
But
Yeah,
again, it's
totally.
taking away from the military. But
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe they'll just be
conti-
assistants if absolutely needed or something. I don't know. Either way, I thought it
continue
was really
on.
cool. Another thing that I saw was in healthcare, robots assisting with patient care, monitoring, rehabilitation, and even performing surgeries with greater
Oh,
precision. Do you
I don't like
remember?
that.
I don't know if you remember, but I remember them
Oh,
talking about this during COVID. Like when we were all shut down, everybody's freaking out about like okay, we're not supposed to go to the hospital. What if my appendix ruptures? You know, like it was a scary time. I hate honestly how much we reference COVID, but I can't help it. It's just so relevant.
Well, it's funny because my son asked the other day, he's like, what is COVID? Because we keep saying COVID. I was like, well, COVID's a germ, but we refer to it as a time. So
A time period.
yeah,
So
so it's a little
anyway,
confusing. You'll get used to it.
yeah. But I do remember them talking about this. And at the time, like this was only 5 years ago, right? They were talking about it and they were like, all right, if we sent a kit to your house and
Stop.
you like laid on your kitchen table
Nope. Done.
and then they like set
Unsubscribe.
everything they set everything up and then knocked you out like all virtually and they
No.
did it all right there. Like that's our future. I swear to it. Like that's coming. I know it is. And
Well,
I'm
no.
like so
No,
baffled by
because
it,
you
but
don't
it's
even
so
have an
true.
OR. You don't even have an OR room that's clean enough
Okay,
to do
but what
that.
if they send you like plastic to put up and chemicals to clean everything?
So it's ET. I keep
Yeah,
referencing movies.
yeah.
I
But
have to have the visual.
okay, so something that's kind of scary but funny at the same time that my aunt always used to talk about is that she was a hairstylist, right? And she was like going in for a really intense surgery. I think it was a hysterectomy or something, something like kind of a big deal. And so she was going in for a hysterectomy and she was like freaking out because she's like, what if the doctor didn't get enough sleep last night? What if this? She's like,
Right.
I have had like when her daughter had a child at like 16 or something, she was like, I gave some janky haircuts. Like, I know, like, I was not at my best on some of those days, right? And so she's like, what if the doctor is having their teenage daughter have a pregnancy? And she's like, what if they're messing up? And I'm like, bro, like, you can't think about that, right? Like,
I
you have to
mean,
have trust in this and like, you can't obsess about it. But anyway, this is where like the robots coming into doing like an appendectomy, you're like,
uh-uh.
oh, but they wouldn't have that error. They would, and obviously, like I would hope anyway, people would still be in the room to like monitor, but they wouldn't be exhausted. They
Well,
wouldn't
true.
have bad days, and they would probably
I'm
be more
okay.
accurate.
I'm okay with like vitals and monitoring and that kind of stuff or like PT. But like surgery freaks me out because our bodies are so different. No body's the same, no organs in the same place. Like I have different or less organs than you do, or we're missing organs. So like other organs move because of that. So it's like, or like your organs are different sizes, like for a splenectomy, it's inflamed, but it's a different inflamed than you're inflamed or it exploded, so it's not actually really together, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Right.
so that's what freaks me out is there's so many different things that you would need a human to be able to compute all those different scenarios a lot quicker, in my opinion, than a robot.
I get that
So
totally.
that would be my only argument is the surgeries. Funny story, I saw a video the other day and it was a surgeon practicing their skills or whatever, and they were doing tiny origami
Oh,
with their little
that's
things.
brilliant,
It
actually,
was
though.
really cool. It was cool to watch because they were just like folding and unfolding and flipping and they were doing
Right.
all of it with their surgical tools, but it was a miniature origami. But anyways, it was cute.
That's adorable. I bet you they have them do that like during school. Like you got to
Something,
get
yeah.
really good.
Yeah, yeah. Again, I'll,
Um,
reference the show if you want. But anyways.
yeah. Um, is it Grey's Anatomy?
Yes, it is. It was when they were making incisions on the bananas.
Yeah.
They were like stabbing fruit and then they had to sew it back together.
Yeah. Funny.
Anyways.
Okay. Anyway, so a couple more things that they can help with healthcare, like you had mentioned, the vitals and that kind of stuff. Um, it also said that they can help reduce infections, enhancing safety in healthcare facilities. So I don't
Well, that's true.
know, like I don't know if that's like a cleaning thing or like
No, it's
how they could
because
really.
we are a germ. Like we have germs embedded in our that's why they
Oh,
have to wear
so
gloves
like
and that kind of stuff.
right,
But
right.
like you can truly clean a piece of metal to have zero germs on it. You can't with a
Right.
human because once we
That's
start to
true.
sweat, we have germs. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
And then this
sweating
one I
thinking about
really
it.
I really like this one because it said that robots can provide companionship and support in elderly care settings. Um,
No,
I love that. Think about how many elderly people don't get visitors. And
I'm
like, have you
trying to be
seen the
positive,
ones?
people.
Yeah, you can tell. No.
Focus.
Okay,
Focus.
so I don't know if anybody else remembers this, and I don't even know if it still is here, but like, do you remember like there was like a fake cat that like was breathing and stuff, and like it
Oh,
was like
yes.
for elderly
And
people so that they didn't have
oh
to worry about
no,
caring for it, but then they could just sit there and still like pet it, and it was like a whole like it looked like a cat
so
and it was like
weird.
breathing and it was whatever. But like it was
Just
so great
purring,
because
probably.
then it probably was because then they had that little companionship, but they didn't have to care for anything and like worry about feeding something and worry about cleaning the cat box and all that other stuff. So it was great. And I just love this because like okay, like teenagers. I remember when I was a teenager talking to my grandparents, like, ugh, you know, like I did not want to be there,
You're
whatever.
such a butt.
I know, like no other teenagers like that. I was the worst. So anyway, and now like our family is huge. Like we have a huge family and we have a few elderly people in our family. And like one of them specifically is in a retirement home. And I haven't even gone to visit her once. And like, mind you, I live in a different state, but still that's terrible.
Hey,
And I feel bad about it. And
I
you
go all the
go,
time.
I know you do, and I'm pretty sure your mom does, or maybe you guys go together.
Yeah, yeah, me, mom, and my brother and my son. Yeah.
But then, and then I know like other people, like her sister-in-law goes and visits her and all that stuff. But like, seriously, like that's it. And like, it should be more. And just imagine
But
her. And then
she,
she talks about it. Like, the woman is in her 90s, right?
but
She's like 92.
yeah, well, I think she's actually like 94, but she's definitely in her 90s. But you got to also think that she has other elderlies at the home that
Yeah,
she goes and she actually talks to people. She also
which
does
is
have a cat,
great, which is great. Yes. And I love
a
that
real
for
one,
her.
not a
But
breathing
then, shut
robot.
up. Shut up. Let me talk. Um, I'm trying to be positive about it, okay?
I know,
Um,
but there
but
are
like she
you,
talks about it all the time, and like a lot of the elderly people that we talk to say like, "Oh, so and so died today." Like it's just no big deal. And imagine having somebody
I
that you
know.
know is not gonna go anywhere because like for F's sake, it's probably so sad and exhausting. And then you can actually talk to somebody and be like, "Oh, hey," or if nobody wants to stay up and do a puzzle with you because it's 8 o'clock and it's everybody's bedtime, but you're a night owl, like this is perfect companionship. I appreciate
Well,
it, especially for the people that don't have families that go visit them.
Well, yeah, and I was gonna say that like maybe retirement home isn't the best example, but like an insane asylum, right? Where it's like people don't go visit, or like a prison and that kind of stuff, where it's like people don't come visit you because you're off your rocker or you're a horrible person or whatever. It's like, okay, well then it makes them more insane when they're in solitude, right?
Hmm.
And it makes them, so it's like having a companion in those kinds of situations might be good because it might bring the humanity back to them by keeping them
Yeah.
around a, you know, robotic receptionist or something. But
Yeah.
so like yeah, but like my first instinct is I was house sitting and they have the Alexa thing and at my house we don't really have like TVs and that kind of stuff. Like we have a projector, but you have to like pull the projector down, turn it on, connect it to the Bluetooth. Like there's several steps. We can't just turn on a TV and then start watching something. Like you have to
Right.
manually like hook up a video game or
There's a lot of effort.
yes, there's a lot of effort and like sounds very annoying, but I have now become accustomed to it because when we go to other houses that have those TVs that you just press a button and then there's this, something playing, um I tend to fight with my son more. But one of the first times we watched this house, he was upstairs, and that's another thing is where I'm at right now is just, we share a room, we're on one level, like we don't have a lot of time away from each other. So when we came to this house, we're like, oh my gosh, like cool, we get to be separated. He can watch something there while I watch my own thing down here. And oh, I can be on my computer down here guilt free because he's upstairs playing with whatever. Well, what was happening was I was ignoring him even more because I was excited to ignore him. And then he would come downstairs, and then I'd be instantly irritated with him because I was trying to do my own thing and he was interrupting that. And then what had happened even farther was he was going upstairs because Alexa was the only one that was nice to him. And Alexa was responding to her or to him. And all of a sudden he was asking Alexa to marry him and telling her about his day. And she was like all these things, like he was building a relationship at the age of, well, that was what, a couple of years ago, so 5, with a computer because I was not giving him the right attention. And that's why I'm instantly like against it, because I'm like, that freaks me out because I feel like human companion is completely different than robotic companion. So like in a nursing home, obviously you might be in a nursing home and you never had kids, you never had siblings, so you don't have a family that can come see you.
Hmm.
And then maybe you're just so used to being in solitude, you don't want to go out and play, you know, um, with the other, you don't want to go play cards, you don't want to go do a puzzle, you don't want to go be with people because you're so used to being alone. Um, so yeah, so situations like that, like I think of in severity or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like if it's robots over humans, I prefer humans. So anyways, that's why I always go on the negative side. So I'm always like, I look at the extremity of it, like where is that tiny little thing going to expand and be bad? But I'm I'm an extremist.
This is why, have we mentioned the yin yang to our listeners yet?
I don't think we have.
This is why, so cousin Shaw and I we were gonna get matching tattoos, but somebody's boyfriend at the time didn't want her to get a tattoo, so she didn't.
Mine is better than yours.
Yeah, okay. She waited and now hers is way better. I got mine at, how old was I? 16.
16.
And
Yeah.
I want to cover it up and
Oh
get
no,
another
wait.
one. So,
You got it at 18. We got the piercing at 16 together.
uh
18, you got the tattoo. Anyways, her tattoo is
either
very
way,
good. Mine is way better, but they're of yin yangs.
because we are opposite. So she is always Miss Negative over there, and I try to be Miss Positive over here. But it's funny because when we were younger, it was kind of opposite
But
or
like
more.
she's like the country girl, I'm like the city girl. And
Yeah.
she likes to get up and do things and I like to sit on my butt. We're two peas, but we're one's green and one's blue.
So anyway, this explains that. Miss Negative Nancy over there.
Hey
Um,
ma'am, just
I
speaking
get it though. I know.
the
I think that's why, because
feels
we always like feed off each other's like, I agree with that. I agree with that. I
situations.
see where you're coming
Exactly.
from. Yeah. Like
But
we didn't
also,
think about it that way. Yeah.
right, right.
All right, but let's
All right.
keep this rolling. More
Go ahead.
positive stuff. I don't think you can say anything negative about this one. You'll find
All right, I'm ready.
something. But
I'm ready.
they can assist in environmental cleanup efforts, such as collecting plastic from the oceans and planting trees in deforested areas and monitoring pollution levels.
Okay, I see. I did like that one. And then, like, on top of that one, it said they can play a role in recycling and waste management, which I know you said the waste management. I was thinking more of the recycling, like at the place, because, like, that's another thing where Tokyo and that kind of stuff, they're way advanced. They actually have these machines that will give you money if you put recycle things in them.
I
So they
feel like we need that
incentivize,
here.
yeah. So, like, they incentivize the recycling, which is crazy because I'm pretty sure they cause a lot of the pollution in our oceans and stuff. But or maybe that's just China.
I don't know. I have a hard time keeping up with that, but I know like everybody talks about it, and actually America is one of the smaller amounts of pollution in our ocean. So
Which is
yay, go team.
I know, but that's very surprising. I thought we were one of the worst. I thought
I
like
mean,
China and US.
we have some debris when you go to the ocean, like some wrappers and stuff like that, but realistically, our oceans are fairly clean. But
Well, and one thing
we're
that they're starting
squirreling.
to do is I know we are scrolling, but anyways, it would be cool to like have a robot be like, oh, that's number one plastic, that's number two plastic. Oh, that and actually go through the trash
Yeah.
bags. That would be super dope. But yes, I'm all about cleaning up the world. See, no negative. Yay, we agree on
See,
something.
go you. Um, and then this one was kind of cool. We talked about it a little bit in one of our other ones with exploring the oceans and stuff like that. And this one, it's they can explore environments that are too dangerous or difficult for humans, like deep sea and other planets, expanding our knowledge on Earth and the universe. And
So weird.
I mean, we talked about it with the alien one that apparently NASA started in the ocean, started exploring the ocean, and then it
They
was
are
too
now, yeah.
vast. It was
Yeah.
too vast, so they went up to space, and now they're just now going back.
Yeah, it was because the ocean was also too things couldn't survive the deeper you
Yeah,
went.
they didn't have the technology that we have now to like not have their things collapse because of the pressure
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
anyway, I thought that was really cool
That'd be
because
crazy.
having robots go down to the oceans to explore would be awesome, and then they could record everything. We just need to get technology advanced enough to have strong enough material where they won't collapse because the pressure down there is intense.
Right. Right.
So, um, I kind of like that. All right, and then the last thing that I'm going to talk about is how it's helping in education. Um, and of course, like the STEM program, like that's where everybody's mind goes when you think about robots in education. But something else that I saw was that robots can potentially personalize learning and provide tailored support for students with diverse needs, including those with disabilities. And right
It's a lot of
now,
big words there.
right now, my son just recently got diagnosed with dyslexia, and I know that's like a lower disability, if it's even a disability at all. I don't even know. But anyway, um, so this would be awesome because like he can literally get he would be able to get his own programming at school that could help him with just
How?
his things because you mean how?
Like would the what would the robot be a teacher? I'm very confused.
I feel like it would be more of like I don't know how I pictured it is more you know how they like pull the students out of the class for the additional help, but they're primarily in class. So I feel like it would just be a daily, like they pull them out for 20 minutes and then put them back in class or whatever, just to help with those few things. But apparently
Ah,
there's
see,
like
I don't like
five
that one.
different
No.
kinds of dyslexia, and I didn't know that. And so like I don't know what kind my son has. I don't even know if it explains it in the paperwork, but like imagine all those different types that one kid is this way, they flip the B's and P's and Q's and D's and all that stuff. Like the regular one, yeah. But then another kid mixes
Or I
up
guess your form would be
or
BD.
flips flips the words backwards or whatever it is. So like um I don't know, it's just
But
it would just be cool to have that because the teachers are so overwhelmed in there that it would be nice to have the additional support tailored to each student and the
yeah, but that just
robot
goes
just knows
into
that.
I know.
We should have ended it at the ocean one.
I know. I can't with you.
She's anti-robot. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for this too. I was thinking about this earlier. Like, you know how there's like ageist and sexist and all that stuff. I cannot wait
Robotist.
to see. Yeah, there's gonna be a name for it. It's gonna be like techist or something. Like you're anti-tech. That's you.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Well,
Like
I'm
don't be
just
techist. Don't be
against
robotist.
AI
You
robotist.
know,
I'm robotist. I like that one
robot
better than techist. Like I like the
robotist.
chat GPT. I like the assistance and that kind of stuff. But like but that just goes back into taking a job because like you need a teacher assistant or whatever. Or like
Yeah, I know,
it
but teachers are always talking about being understaffed. I feel like this would be a great way to just
but
help them out.
but then how are they gonna buy a robot if they're can't afford to buy a teacher? That
Well,
sounded bad.
because that's like a one-time cost and the teacher is like an annual cost.
But then you have
I
to hire
don't
someone to
know.
fix it.
They'll probably make it affordable so that classes can do this. And then all the parents are just going to donate $100 each and then boom, we got it.
But then the kids, I don't know. But then the
Don't
kids
look at
relate with the
listen, I don't think that's going to happen in our children's lifetime. So I'm not really stressing about it, but I'm just
Oh, well,
saying it's
I was
there.
gonna say they totally relate with electronics. That's what I was trying to
No.
say. I don't like that they're comfortable with a lot electronics over people. But I like the ocean one.
Anyway,
I like the ocean.
let's end it with this amazing quote.
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready. I won't. I'll try not to.
This can
Wait.
kind of go either way. So you can make it positive or negative. So I'm looking at it positive, you'll look at it negative. That's fine. There are an endless number of things to discover about robotics. A lot of it is just too fantastic for people to believe. And Daniel H. Wilson said that.
Too fantastic. That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's true though. Like, how many times did we say it in there? Like, we're not even thinking about this being a possibility, but it is. Like, we're there. There's some stuff already now that
Oh,
our
I
grandparents were
know.
probably like, oh, absolutely not.
Well, and there's, I mean, there's a lot of things like that I'm like, that's dumb, like a waste of money. But then there's things where I'm like, wow, that sounds nice. But it's true. You could take
Yeah.
any situation. Like I want a cleaning lady in the house, but then the negative side is taking away somebody else's job. So it's like every robot you can look at that situation. But
Yep.
like I obviously don't handle it or interacting with robots
Well,
either.
I don't know. You'll just have to see what happens. Like if it looked more like a human and acted more like a human, would you treat it like a human?
I feel like I wonder if I'd be creeped out by it too. I'd be like,
Oh,
thank
yeah, but
you.
eventually you would adjust. You need to
Yeah,
watch
but
Bicentennial Man.
is he an actual man?
No, well, I don't. You gotta watch it. I can't explain that. It's a loaded question, but it's Robin Williams, and you'd love it.
That's a loaded question. Okay. All right. Anyways, please remember to like, follow, and comment to connect with us. We are now on Spotify, YouTube, and Facebook pages. Just search Calling Cousins. Love you all. Bye.
Love you. Bye.